to the lonesome valley.
Yes, sir.
Nobody else can go for you.
Go to sleep, you little babe. Go to sleep, you little babe. Go to sleep, you little babe. Go to sleep, you little. Your mama's gone away and your dad's gonna stay. Don't leave nobody but the baby. Go to sleep, you little babe. 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 Everybody's gone in the cotton and the corn. Didn't leave nobody but the baby. You're a sweet little babe. 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 Honey in the rock and the sugar don't stop. Gonna bring a bottle to the baby. Don't you weep, pretty babe. 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 She's long gone with the red shoes on. Gonna need another loving babe. Go to sleep, little 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 babe. You and me and the devil makes three. Don't need no other loving babe. Go to sleep, you little 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 babe. Come lay your bones on the alabaster stones and be my ever-loving baby.
You are listening to KOPN Columbia. This is your host, Jackie Casteel, and we're about to hit the radio range on Rootin Tootin Radio, full of the best country, Americana, folk. And for today, we have some special guests that are going to be bringing us some poetry. You're used to all sorts on this show full of infotainment, so stick with us and enjoy this first track. That last one from Bill on the Sunday Morning Coffee House inspired a recent release from Amanda Ann Platt and the Honeycutters. This is entitled The Devil, here on KOPN Columbia.
Your Chevy Cavalier, Tom Petty on stereo, you whispering in my ear, talking words about forever. Said I don't know what that means. You know I wasn't lying, and I was only 17, but my heart grew up around you like a tree grows through a fence. And I learned said our wedding vows, but you couldn't wait a week before you started stepping out. And our bills went unpaid, and our bed grew cold. Oh, I could have made a book out of the stories that you told. I said, you know, I never asked you to be something you're not. That's your seventh whiskey, it ain't even 6 o'clock. And I may burn if I go and leave you here this way, but I'm gonna freeze if I stay. So if the devil ain't a woman and the heart ain't a deep blue sea, and if you didn't see it come, I guess you never really looked at me. You can cuss and call me names, and I won't say your aim ain't true. Yeah, but remember, the devil had to fall once too. I was standing on the dance floor, you were singing with the band, when that ring slipped off my finger into a stranger's hand. And you said, what happened to forever, as your eyes were flashing green. Said, I thought I told you, baby, I just don't know what that means. Even though I love you still, you son of a bitch, I probably always will. But all those nights I spent alone, I was just learning from the only love I'd known. Now if the devil ain't a woman and the heart ain't a deep blue sea, and if you didn't see it come, I guess you never really looked at me. You say I wrecked you when I left, and I confess that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, but remember, the devil had to fall once too.
I met her at a truck stop, and her name was Gypsy Rose. Her hair was black, her eyes were green, and her spirit filled my soul. She was thumbing a ride from Memphis down to Birmingham. Me and this Rose called Gypsy were gone to Alabama. She told me her story as her hair blew in the wind. Her daddy was a truck driving highwayman whose breath was strong with gin. Her mama died when she was just 13, and that's when she hit the road. Life was filled with twists and turns for this Alabama Gypsy Rose. She was just a truck stop girl, but the charm she possessed had my world. Upside down, backwards up, around and around, I couldn't get enough. She might have been a truck stop queen, but to me, she was everything. She's an angel with no wings. She was mine. girl, but the charm she possessed had my world upside down, backwards up, around and around. I couldn't get enough. She might have been a truck stop queen, but to me she was everything. She's an angel with no wings. She's my gypsy. She's an angel with no wings. She's my gypsy.
It's time, y'all. Y'all know that it's time, y'all, yeah. Lord, no. I was down on South Street when this brother came to me with this message. Believe me,
he said it's up to you and me to rid humanity with this message. Yes, he did. He said all across the nation is a sad situation, and music is the key to reach the whole wide world. You see,
before you start your day, come on, y'all. You've got to pray. Hey, pray. Before you start your day. Before you get up, y'all, yeah. Before you get up, y'all, yeah.
A little harmony among us, brought about through love, is our mission. Yes, it is. Keep a smile on our face, a little peace within our hearts is our vision. Yeah. You see, it's time we all start giving and change our way of living. Drop down on our knees and through the music let them speak. You've got to pray.
Hey. Before you start your day, come on, y'all. You've got to pray. Before you get up, y'all, yeah. Get down on your knees and pray. Before you start your day.
Get down on your knees and pray.
Things ain't what they used to be, y'all. So we gotta pray. Pray. And have the homeless in the streets
and the little babies cause the weak.
It's time we all start giving and change our way of living and drop down on our knees with the music let us speak. You got to pray. Let's get on our knees, y'all. Before you start your day. Have you said the prayer, y'all? You got to pray. Hey, hey. Before you start your day.
To see. Lord knows there's far too many people spreading hatred like a disease. So quit all your malcontent and try to love your brother if you please. It's an already mean enough world. No, we don't need no more out of you. So quit your cussing, carrying on and fighting that you do. It's an already mean enough world, baby, without you. Don't rope me in your politics, so spin me in your tangled web of lies. I do not wish to be weighed down by ugliness, nor hear what you despise. Me, I forced to walk a mile in shoes too narrow for my size. So I'd clench your fist a minute and replace them with some peace of mind. Oh, 'cause it's an already mean enough world. No, we don't need no more out of you. So quit your cussing, carrying on and fighting as you do. It's an already mean enough world, baby, without you. It seems like every way the world goes round, someone's there to knock you down. Well, mama, that don't make no sense to me. Them haunted dreams I laid to rest, the chains you locked around my chest, I busted loose, now I'm running free. Holds all our worst fears. That humankind will never learn the lessons of the last 3,000 years. It's still an eye and a tooth for tooth, but it's not too late to lend an ear. And stop all this hating before we all disappear. Oh, it's an already mean enough world. No, we don't need no more. Quit your cussing, carrying on and that fighting that you do. It's an already mean enough world, baby, without you. Yeah, it's an already mean enough world. No, we don't need no more out of you. So quit your cussing, carrying on that fighting that you do. It's an already mean enough world, baby, without you. Joints are rusty, sheets are awful cold and dusty. Roll over, folks, it must have been another night on the bend. Kick rocks, slept songs, boo, I'll levy wants his couches, my kingdom, and I swear there's bugs in my head. Sick, sad, sentient, the penny saved, the penny spent to sleep at the wheel. Sure beats being awake in my bed. Last call to feel small, I dread the sight of alcohol and don't know where this train stops, but I want all. Been rather low out here together. Oh, I reckon that we'll keep trying if rock bottom it never shows. You're not alone if there's a storm to weather. I ain't welcome at home, I don't know about. Double takes and double stops, a double dare ya, call the cops, I'll die where I stand if I hear wagon wheel again. 40 days of foggy nights, withered by the city lights, I don't remember existential crisis being part of the deal. I told you once, I told you twice, steeped in verse, cursed advice, traded my 40 acres for a mountain of pain. Hot damn ham scan, blighted in the promised land, don't mind if I do declare we're as good as dead. Together. Oh, I reckon that we'll keep trying if rock bottom it never shows. You're not alone if there's a storm to weather. I ain't welcome at home, I don't know about. I ain't welcome at home, I don't know about. I
great one from Nick Shoulders. That was Rather Low. Before that, we heard Old Crow Medicine Show, Mean Enough World, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes with Pray Before You Start Your Day, and the Reeves Brothers with The Ballad of Alabama Gypsy Rose, and started off Rootin' Tootin' Radio with Amanda Platt and the Honeycutters with their recent release, The Devil. So we're getting into a little bit of one of our themed chunks of the day. Just Rather Low, Mean Enough World, Pray Before You Start Your Day. If you have been catching up on everything that has been rolling down the hill from our year of seclusion, maybe you're feeling it with me. Feeling a little bit of that height of the summer busyness, weeding, taking care of your farm, going to work, getting that project done. Maybe you felt low. We're going to try to feel a little bit higher today. And I think one of the great ways to dislodge a little bit of that sticky sensation in our chest and in our bodies is with a great song, a great story, or a great poem. And we have two special guests in our studio today. In the beautiful downtown Columbia studios of KOPN Community Radio. And they are Tim Heerdink and Tony Brewer. They have been touring the Midwest with some stories of exciting poetry performances in Bell, Missouri, in St. Louis, in surrounding areas, and we have lucked out, and they have paid us a visit in the studio to bring it to you, whether you are here in Columbia, Millersburg, Huntsville, Clark. We love bringing you live performances. Thanks for joining us, and we will be giving you a mix of spoken word and music throughout today's show. I'm going to give you a little bit of info from both of our performers. Tim is the author of The Human Remains, Red Flag and Other Poems, Raised Monuments, Checking Tickets on Something I Can't Pronounce, and Ghost Map. But I'll let him, explain all those things to you himself. But he is also the president of the Midwest Writers Guild and resides in Indiana with his wife, daughter, dog, and 2 cats. I love reading bios. I love it. Tony here is a poet, spoken word performer, and event producer. I know him through his live sound effects and Foley artistry through the National Audio Theater Festivals. And if you're a longtime Rootin' Tootin' radio listener, you know all about it in that Midwest Radio Theater Workshop and the Here Now Festival in Kansas City. This guy's a mover and shaker. But, I think it's nice to get down to some raw words on the air. So, thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, Jackie. Great to be here. I haven't been back in Columbia in a long time. It's probably been 15 years since I've been back. So,
wow.
yeah.
When was the last reason you were here?
Probably I was in Fulton last for the National Audio Theater Festival, which I think when it was in Fulton was probably about 15 years ago.
Oh, nice.
But the last time before it was in Fulton, it was the Midwest Radio Theater Workshop. Mm-hmm. And it was based in Columbia and based out of KOPN.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Part of our precious history up here at KOPN Community Radio, one of the many projects that spun off into its own thing. You listen to Kevin Walsh long enough on his rantings, he'll let you know how everything in Columbia can be connected back to the individuals and beginnings of this.
It's interesting, too. I was talking with Tim about the community station in Bloomington, the community radio station in Bloomington, WFHB, I believe, is a sister station of KOPN.
Oh, yeah.
When WFHB went on the air about over 25 years ago now, I think we were kind of in the shadow of KOPN, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was very powerful to attend the Grassroots Radio Conference and see the community radio stations and them have you step back. And they'd be like, everyone who's been a station for 10 years, stand up, 20 years, 30 years. And 30 years, I think, was maybe we were at 40 at that point, maybe not for KOPN, but I just remember being like one of two other people standing by the time they got to that point, and in a room full of people. And it was pretty impressive where community radio's been. But let's get to performance. I'm excited for some performance. Who'd like to go first?
I'll give a whack at it because I got a little invocation I wanted to do. This is from my book, Hot Type Cold Read, and this is the first poem in it. This is called Calling the Quartet. Oh, my brothers, and oh, my fathers, and oh, my sisters, and oh, my mothers, guardians of the East, you bags of air in my thoughtless face, who billow that face into a sail of expression, winged falcon wrath from on high, who is the night at noon, shadowing and dancing and singing unsingable tunes, I call upon and invite your presence to witness this rite. Watchtower of the South, brick red juke joint of on fire, the passion of the hot, hot heart, great snake with coal black eyes of home fires and of wildfires, and we all are going down in the heat. I call upon and invite your presence to witness this rite. Guardians of the West, gut bucket of tears, who are neurotic and toxic and emotional and calmed with cool, pure love. Gentle dolphin of mood swings, whose water is what morning dew is to ants, what tsunamis dream are human beings. I call upon and invite your presence to witness this rite. Watchtower of the North, my planet, my earth, my ride, my dirt box fort when it's all said and done. Powerful bull pawing the ground before the cape, who has an axis and who knows how to work it. I call upon and invite your presence to witness this rite. Oh, my brothers, and oh, my fathers, and oh, my sisters, and oh, my mothers, we have much to tell you now, for you taught us well how to speak it.
That was good.
Thank you. Let me do one more, and I'll maybe pass it over to Tim. This is Hearts and Minds. Paul Mabin and his family own a farm. He is the last one left alive to work. On day one, I tell him, if you can talk, you can read. He already has words, a warm wind of vowels and consonants we diagram and map. Newspaper obit, tractor part, street sign, McDonald's menu. He can look up times and TV guide. I don't let him read his Bible here. He knows too much of it by heart. I tell him Italians use their hands to speak, but Americans use verbal shorthand. Entire conversations are held in it. He asks about Iraq and Afghanistan. I unfold a National Geographic map, and we begin at Jerusalem in Israel. He knows about the Crusades, but is surprised by how large Africa looms, and Saudi Arabia, and next to it, Egypt, right across the water from Rome and Germany. I tell him World War II lies on top of World War I, so some countries no longer exist. Russia, now attached to Mongolia, and China sans Hong Kong, both Koreas, both Vietnams. His finger traces place names he has heard on TV. They jigsaw around his tongue and slipping plate. I get him into practice reading at home. He watches too much Fox and not enough news, but I don't undo it when he passes me his Bible. I explain its map of hotspots too. Galilee and Bethlehem and Jerusalem again, where Christ was crucified near where Mohammed also ascended to heaven. Paul knows Mohammed, likes his story, and asks what I believe. I tell him I believe he needs to practice writing each letter 10 times, caps and lowercase, on gray paper with big dashed middle lines he ignores and writes where he wants. Sometimes Paul skips our Saturday sessions to sweep up and dump trash and polish at a Hardee's. 75 years old and filling his off hours with my tutelage. He preferred sweating on asphalt to sitting with me in the library back room. I showed him how the Pope took Byzantium, how democracy covers the desert like a sack. In that National Geographic with the map is the story of an Afghan woman, fresh blue ink on her index finger, She has only ever seen her small plot of earth, but her hard hands and eyes escape the fabric of her life. Americans come and go. Soviets came and went. The sun and moon and her family are all that matter, and one book some of them can read. Others know it by heart.
Wow. Yeah, a lot in there. A lot in there. I am very thankful for your visit.
Well, thank
for
you.
Sure.
Thanks, Jackie. It's good to be here, and it's good to see you again. I haven't seen you in probably, it's been like 4 or 5 years, I think.
I know.
So,
I'm a recovering volunteer-aholic, and I have not made my way towards the audio theater realm in a few years, and then, those things that happened this past year that keep us apart. But, it's just amazing sometimes watching a documentary film and being involved in seeing a change in someone from something they learned from that film. It's just amazing what you can learn from a few lines too, or what you can think about in that time period.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tim.
All right. Oh, sorry about that. So, I have to go after Tony this time around. Usually he gets the one up maybe afterward. Tony, by the way, is one of my favorite poets, so I'm just joyous to always be hanging out with them at these poetry gatherings. This one is for Tony Brewer, and it's going to be part of our upcoming collection we're working on. It's called A Stop at the Iron Post, and that was the start of our tour last year before the pandemic. Tour's back on, folks. Tonight, you get not one, but two tired poets who traveled hours just to entertain and maybe hustle some books for some bucks so we can make our way back home. Thank you, Will and Jim, and all present for this event. It's nice to meet you in person and share this space with you in this last chance before everything suddenly shuts down in this country. We've washed our hands 4 times since walking through the door. The skin is starting to get chapped. Brewer is singing a tune of cicadas rubbing butts after 17 years of waiting. How lovely. Maybe this time next year we can get together and do it again.
Excellent. Excellent.
We'll get there.
I guess I can read another since he did a 2-for deal.
Yeah.
Another one kind of dealing with, this is more of a criticism on the pollution in my area, but I guess it can go for the pandemic as well. This one's called Clock with No Hands. What year this be? Can you tell me? The sun mirrors blood. I can't find my family anywhere within the circumference I stand. Must have dozed off for a minute or two. Has it been longer? Is this a daydream? Who rules the land? Who rules the sky? When no one can shine on me, no time to tell. I'll just brush the crust away from my eyes. Step outside if the air is safe to inhale. Do you know the toxicity those clouds spit out? From long stacks meant for energy, no chance. You happen to have a spare mask this time. Makes it hard to breathe.
Ooh. I feel like there's a few songs from a different playlist that I'd really like to follow that one with. But we will go back to a music break. But do you guys have anything else before we get into those songs?
No, just thanks to Missouri for having us. We're thrilled that John Dorsey, who is he was runner-up for Poet Laureate of Missouri, and he ought to be Poet Laureate of Missouri. He's definitely the Poet Laureate of Bell, Missouri. Thanks to John for putting everything together for us this weekend, and Dan Wright too in St. Louis, and thanks to Jackie and KOPN for having us here.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, bucks for books and things like that, what's the best way if people want to find, buy your guys' books or find out more about you? Where would they go?
Oh, man, come to a reading and buy one direct. That's the best way, honestly. But, most of my stuff's available on the big one, on Amazon. You can also, I'm pretty Googleable, so you can find my website and order direct from me. I'm also available on all of your favorite social media platforms, so definitely hit me up directly. I also do poetry on demand, where I make custom poems for people at like art festivals and whatnot. So if you KOPN listeners out there hit me up direct, I'll make a custom poem for you too. We'll have a little conversation about the poem you want, and I'll send you something.
Nice.
And while my first 3 collections are on the big nasty of Amazon, all my books are available, unless they are out of print, and I'll mark that, on my website, timheerdink.com. And, of course, my last name needs to be spelled out. But I'll post links and whatnot. But they're also bookshop.org. That
nice.
links you to all the independent bookstores. So, like Blue Stocking Social is the independent one in Evansville, Indiana, that has all my books. So I only support the local guy if possible.
It's independent bookstores are definitely something I value and want to see out there, as well as those independent book makers. Okay, we're going to get back into the music for a little bit and then have another little poetry break. And we'll also be bringing you the Oracle of the Turtle shortly. This is Anna Egg with Wait a Minute. It's a new release from her, but a favorite artist. Let's see what it's like.
Watch the moments fade.
consolation where past and present meet. Stories from my childhood, lay them at my feet. Leave the pain of losing, for in all of it I find nothing quite so bitter or so sweet as the endless running out of time. Who am I to live and die, to dream, to breathe, to burn? That I exist, it is a gift I never could have earned. Until the ties are broken, this purpose will be mine. To hold you close and try to slow the endless running out of time.
turn into days. Some days I go to bed feeling like I just woke up. It seems like it's melting away. Lord, make me an offer I can't refuse. We were born to win, bound to lose. All of these bad years of borrowed time. Borrowed time. Borrowed time. Depreciating like a double wide trailer on top of a salt mine. Borrowed time. Borrowed time. Give me some of yours, I'll give you some of mine. Give me some of yours, I'll give you some of mine.
That was John R. Miller with Borrowed Time. It is time for the Oracle of the Turtle, Bob Dyer's Oracle of the Turtle here on Rootin Tootin Radio on KOPN Columbia. For those of you keeping track at home, this is 30, Clinging Like Fire.
The clinging. This is not a path I am walking on. I am not leading or following anyone. I am stepping into a pool of water that seems to have no bottom. I am looking into a fire that seems to have no flame. I am on an edge that is nothing like an edge.
Lord have mercy. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother. And remember, each man dreams on. Now we need one another. Oh, yeah. And it's time we all should be friends. 'Cause each man has a brother. And remember, each man should be friends. You can live in this world all by yourself. No, 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 you can make it alone. And just to show that you try to make it by yourself, you're gonna wake up and find you're gonna need somebody else. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother. And remember, each man dreams on. Now we need one another. Oh, yeah. And it's time we all should be friends. 'Cause each man has a brother. And remember, each man has a friend. No. It's an island. Lord have mercy. You can live in this world all by yourself. No, 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 you can make it alone. And just to show that you try to make it by yourself, you're gonna wake up and find you're gonna need somebody else. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man has a brother. And remember, each man dreams his own. Now we need one another. Yeah. And it's time we all should be friends. 'Cause each man has a brother. And remember, each man has a friend. No man is an island. God have mercy.
Gregory Isaacs with No Man is an Island. I'd like to remind you that this program is brought to you in part by housekeeping and maid service Tidy Keepers Express. Locally owned and operated and in business since 2013, Tidy Keepers Express can be found on the web at tidykeepersexpress.com or by calling 573-303-0336. If you want more information about becoming an underwriter, check out KOPN.org. Lots of information on there. We are back in the KOPN studio with our special guests, Tony Brewer and Tim Heerdink. And we're going to hear some more poetry.
Thank you. This next one is called Storm is Chasing Sick. Deep, dark, and dull horizon, where do you go when the masterful sun fails in its rising? Do you too lie in the depths waiting for resolution, or am I alone this evening in my own dissension? There's a storm chasing, it's gaining a lead, and I know it's only a matter of days before the wind blows, and it blows me away. Stop the storm that's chasing, keeps chasing, never leaves. Now it leaves all dead like the hope I once had, lift in unison, in a rapture trying to capture the game. Feet sink beneath the grand ruining. I've tried, and I've tried, but this storm has its hold, it won't let me be. Farewell to above ground as it's swallowing me.
Awesome. Thanks for the snaps, Jackie.
Thank you.
And we should clarify too. That was Tim Heerdink, and I'm Tony Brewer. Just so you know, you can tell us by our voices. This is the workbook. I journal every day without fail. Before shower, coffee, breakfast, feet on the floor, glass of water, trundle to the kitchen table, brain dump for 2 notebook pages minimum. Then the day can begin. The poems can be decent drafts, but I rarely reread the prose, mostly noodling for a paragraph, settling on a topic, then plow through to page 2. Hundreds of practice runs at saying something, recaps of what I'd actually said, or he or she or whoever, what went wrong and why, distilled, but for real, like a paraphrased script. Oftentimes, inelegant, awful anger about how wronged I was or wrong I feel for feeling wronged. Cussing in all caps names of oppressors. Grown damn adult angst burbling out like a congested coffee maker before sunup. Sometimes I rhapsodize about the weather. Sometimes a laundry list of what I've done the day before. Sometimes I solve world problems. Sometimes I make no sense considering my place and how I fit or don't. And there, at the end, in my spidery script, stupid little pep talks. The bile out of my system around 7 in the a.m. Time to button it up and face people. Go from raging contemplation to pleasant stone-faced drone. Typical Midwestern man. This is the time. This is the place. I am the person. Never fully believing, but it'll do. A decent enough human to shuffle to coffee, then sit in an office behind a sense of accomplishment. If I do nothing else today, I have already babbled 1,000 words no one will ever read, painted myself into an emotional corner, penned a new poem, or all three. Who wrote this? I later wonder. Someone who doesn't care what anybody thinks, but cared enough for me to get it down. A gift from the past to my future self, fully capable of clear, rational thought and measured, logical reaction.
Good advice.
I think Tim's going to do one, then I'm going to do one, and then we'll throw it back to Jackie.
Okay.
All right. This is one from an upcoming collection that'll be out 40 years over with. This one was called 67 Days in Yukievich. 24 hours have passed since the great star collapsed from its heavenly pedestal for a sabbatical in the southern hemisphere. Alaska deals with this phenomenon of darkness in months when ultraviolet waves prove to be a blessing to the freezing, destitute, and alone. Alarming numbers of suicide are reported annually all over Seattle, where the rain falls more times than not. 2,000 miles north at the highest point, I can imagine depression winning more battles. Surviving such a prolonged period in the pitch black calls for celebration when the flames show their face like distant relatives back from holiday, wondering where everyone disappeared to during their leave of absence.
This is from my book from a couple of years ago called Homunculus, and this poem is called Trees Are Poems to a Typewriter in the Woods. I wish my head could do that. Beat against a tree so hard, shards of bark like words spray from beneath a pointy beak. My tiny brain could take it, wrapped as a woodpecker's inside the prehensile blanket of a keyhole saw-toothed tongue, the skin around my thick skull and eye sockets sturdy enough to withstand infinite repeated impact. And what would I do with all the grubs? I'd eat 'em, screams and all. Reverting to arboreal instinct where I perch on what I destroy to nourish myself, or mark a trunk to prove I exist, inhaling cedar into hollow bones. Deep in pulp and the rat-a-tat-tat of pecking I produce to feed my face, my insane laugh mistaken for a ploy to attract a mate. I'd make the sound of a cartoon arrow striking a cartoon tree. My life spent killing sycamores to get the bugs, killing them slow anyway. Clinging to bark I nail with my head, my tongue as long as my body, darting out, snagging the prize inside and recoiling back around a padded gray walnut of brain. I'd relish the silence immediately after it's broken by my frantic code, then tense my neck and make a hit I've made, perfect, plumb, and true, 20,000 times on this trunk alone. Feathers ruffling to repel splinters as I bore a hole to heartwood. My eyes shut, holding tight my limb, my crown, a red tuft chiseling in a blur, the only story I know to tell.
Got our critter of the week in there. We got some information. It sounded like you put some work in the facts in that one.
I did.
Excellent. I feel like there's some deeper conversation I want to have on a few aspects of the previous poem and the one earlier.
Yes.
We'll get back into the music and bring you some more poetry in the next hour of Rootin Tootin Radio here on KOPN Columbia, since we're getting up to that top of the hour, and I just noticed. We will be here until 3 p.m., and you can stay tuned for Strike the Gay Harp or many of our other fabulous music programs here on a Sunday afternoon, early evening on KOPN Columbia. Here is another one from Amanda Ann Platt and the Honeycutters. This is Rabbit.
Sit on the back porch and stare at the sky, watching the sun kiss the mountains goodnight. The dog kills a rabbit, it's only a baby. Cry like a child, 'cause you couldn't save it. Later, a good friend comes round for a beer. You laugh at the way these lessons take years. You start a small fire from junk mail you saved, and the clouds start to gather. Flames fight the rain. The sky grows darker. You say, please don't go home. Rinsing the bottles out in the sink. The water is warm. You can't help but think that it's easy. It can be easy. Now you painted the walls the yellow and blue, and this house is forever. It's like a tattoo. You're living inside it. It's inside of you, and you're settling deeper. You're hitting the snooze. But how did you get here? Don't even know. Came in on a feeling heavy and slow, and you're falling in love just like falling asleep. Summer comes calling, lazy and sweet. Days get shorter. You say, please don't go home. You stare at your toes on the same kitchen floor. It hurts you like hell, but you're closing the door, and it's easy. Sometimes it's so easy. You sit on the back porch and stare at the sky, watching for airplanes as 10 years go by. The dog kills a rabbit, you heard it screaming. Still there's some part of you that prays it went easy.
You know you've done enough when every bone is sore. You know you've prayed enough when you don't ask anymore. You know you're coming to some kind of understanding when every dream you dreamed is past and you're still standing. Mama says God tends to every little skinny sheep, so count your ribs and say your prayers and get to sleep. Nothing is louder to God's ears than a poor man's sorrow. Daddy is poor today and he will be poor tomorrow. Hey, that's the poor man's house. Everybody get a look at the poor man's house. Everywhere they went before must have turned them out, and now they're living in a poor man's house. There's nothing like poverty to get you into heaven. They got a lot of wine and fish up there, and the bread's unleavened. They got a lot of ears that I heard a whip go crack. Lots of missing toes and fingers and scars upon their back. Daddy's been working too much for days and days and doesn't eat, and he never says much, but I think this time it's got him beaten. It isn't that he isn't strong or kind or clever. Your daddy's poor today and he will be poor forever. Hey, that's a poor man's house. Those kids are living in a poor man's house. They walk to school with the soles of their shoes worn out and come home and evening with a poor man's house. Why are you chopping that wood now? Why are you growing that corn? Mama's sewing a brand new shirt and you're wearing the one that's torn, and I guess it's for someone else's kid who wasn't born in a poor man's house. A poor man's house. Hey, take a look at that house. Everybody we're living in a poor man's house. Seems like everywhere we go they find us out. Find out we've been living in a poor man's house. Lights flicker when you walk by. And I always hate it when you smile. Reminds me of this movie I watched when I was a kid. You're the villain on the ship, and if no hard feelings was a choice, and you really meant it in your voice, indecisive all the time. And honestly, I've crossed my line. I'd rather turn up the TV than listen to myself. And nothing that you do is much help. Well, I hate the way you speak about me. It's nothing mean, it's just scary. You always say that we're moving too fast, when I'd rather not be moving at all. I don't know what I want anymore, and I don't know if it's you. I don't think I could stand this anymore. There's nothing you'll be able to do. Who am I if I'm not listening? Would you let me through? I don't know what I want anymore, and I don't know if it's you. I don't know what I want anymore, and I don't know if it's you. I don't think I could stand this anymore. There's nothing you'll be able to do. Who am I if I'm not listening? Would you let me through? I don't know what I want anymore, and I don't know if it's you.
Everybody thinks my head's full of nothing. Wants to put his special stuff in. Fill the space with candy wrappers. Keep out sex and revolution, but there's no hole in my head. Too bad. Call me a dupe of this and the other. Call me a puppet on a string. They don't know my head's full of me, and that I have my own special thing, and there's no hole in my head. Too bad. I have lived since early childhood, figuring out what's going on. I know what hurts, I know what's easy, when to stand and when to run, and there's no hole in my head. Too bad. So please stop shouting in my ear. There's something I want to listen to. There's a kind of bird song up somewhere. There's feet walking the way I mean to go, and there's no hole in my head. Too bad. Everybody thinks my head's full of nothing. Wants to put his special stuff in. Fill the space with
the candle, put the lock upon the door. You have sent the maid home early, like 1,000 times before. Like a castle in its corner, in a medieval game. I foresee terrible trouble, and I stay here just the same. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah.
And you're listening to KOPN Columbia. That was the Fretless and Freddie and Francine teaming up on that cover of Dirty Work. Malvina Reynolds before that with No Hole in My Head. Really enjoyed that song and popped up in maybe in a movie soundtrack and turned me on to it earlier this month. Our local favorites, the Burney Sisters with Who Am I? Relatively new release from them. Patty Griffin with Poor Man's House. And that chunk, we started off with Amanda Platt and the Honeycutters with Rabbit. I do want to remind you that some of the funds for this program are brought to you by Ragtag Cinema, Columbia's art house movie theater. Information about showtimes and tickets can be found by calling 573-443-4359 or ragtagcinema.org. Over there at ragtagcinema.org, it lets you know the films playing today, which are Pig, Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain, and Zola. Again, more information at ragtagcinema.org. We are back to our special guests, Tony Brewer and Tim Heerdink. And let's get into it. Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going first this time. Tim thought I was being too happy, so I'm going to try and bring the room down a little bit.
Wow, the first half of this playlist started off very dark. I've shuffled it around a little bit thanks to you guys being in this guest. But
fantastic.
I think our friends out there on the range know that we play with feeling on this show.
Yeah. Plus, it's a sunny day outside, so why not be inside and be sad? This is called Rocket Surgery. Elbow deep in dirty dishes, while coiffed cyborg informs Miss Universe launches sexual harassment probe into distant stubbled star. Auto-corporatocracies enter new space race. The mouse buys purchase proof of the Force. Favor going easy on people, teaching machines fear. Wash in the dirty side, rack on the clean, and in the middle, rinse. Meanwhile, back on Earth, confidently advanced, living 5 to 15 years behind, despite neither Mars nor moon base and cars that do not fly. Coal from R. Gallagher Generating Station, New Albany, Indiana, burns and turbines electromagnetic charges many miles to the 83% efficient heater gurgling away in the back room. I don't believe it. I know it, so I do not have to believe it. nicked myself on knives discovered under plates. Intelligent scalpels could have excised Dad's cancer, but miracles do not exist in U.S. doctor kits yet. Hospice and dirty words like palliative, gray water in a sink. I use less, protect from bacteria, educate, dream, do better, live smarter, eat cleaner. Pleasure still exists among innumerable stars, or is home merely a habitable world? Most hang in emptiness best minds barely comprehend, consume my available attention. We grow primitive here in peak physical manifestation and let the dishes pile up way too long.
All right. Yes, I tried to bring the world down. No, that's excellent, Tony. I actually pulled one out of the hat, per se, my phone, that might have a little bit of humor for Tim Heerdink humor. I touch upon a lot of tougher subjects that I feel like people should talk about when it comes to mental health and loss, and I do write on the subject of the Holocaust in some of my books, but last year my mother passed away of brain cancer, and so a lot of the newer poems that have come out, I've been reading newer material to start off with the show, kind of go with that mindset. Anyway, he was just talking about cancer in his poem, and so this kind of segues into my next piece, when I would take care of my mother last year. This one is called Lying with Horses. Every time I make the trip to Chandler to visit my mother, I pass several stables for horses and must wonder if they have the ability within themselves to lie. Not a simple fib or a withholding of the truth, but the stationary position of which many living things find relief in sleep. If I'm not mistaken in my years in the country, I'd say they must lie down eventually when weariness comes upon them. Could you imagine standing every moment in life at the utmost attention instead of recharging with the sun? Today I witnessed not one, but a pair of horses lying in the tall grass over there, and I'll be damned if one didn't appear dead. Cue laughter.
Yeah. Okay, this is from back into Hot Type Cold Read, and this is about a trip I took to Maine some years ago, and it's based on I had a friend out there who's an Irish musician, and so it's just a lot of stuff folded in together. It's not about any particular one person. It's just kind of like general observations while I was out there for a few days. This is called Down East. Somewhere around here, Paul Stuckey started a radio station that has played Puff the Magic Dragon 24/7 since 1968, except for break-ins from Democracy Now! And the Hightower Report. People from Boston are called massholes. Limp shutters in a convenience store tank too long are yesterday's pound. Ask a local, lived here all your life? And he'll answer, not yet. Such happy yellow rubber trousers with booties attached and suspenders extending out of a hang-down mustache as dark and downturned as the mouth underneath. He's a watercolor of a wharf, stacking cages and banding claws, and thinking of his manicured ex-wife's painted nails and mouth, how she hated his Irish music, and boy, that was a deal-breaker. He could have just not let her get that close instead of running all the way to Maine to escape after the divorce, but the sun isn't hiding when it doesn't show its face. A milky pearl in clam-colored skies, here comes the squall, snap. That's how the weather works here. A rock-bound smugness saying, you just don't know the world like we do. Thumbs under suspenders like tongues on long vowels dying at the back of the throat. A fish slides easily through the hand until the fins prick like quills when you try to hold it fast and scale and clean and gut it. He prefers claws and armor boiling in a pot and putting up a good fight with a hammer and tongs and a long, buttery fork. Imagine trying to live here without synthetics, all oilskin and sealskin and real skin against wet wool dried over a smoky fire, and in another time, blubber. Fat people rich, now fat people poor. The boat is not his life. It's got a name, like a wife. And he loves every catch he dumps on her deck, writhing like a sequined dress she's not clean enough to wear. So it just lays there, all pretty on the bed. A radio's the only thing still running when a nor'easter knocks the power out. He cranks it like a phonograph, and out comes Elvis Costello, pretending he's Pete Seeger doing a terrible Burl Ives. That tremolo wheezing forth, he'd almost rather hear the news. And off the coast, a foghorn sounding all night, all year, though no one lives there, ever since the keeper passed away. Remote-controlled since 1958. He can tune a violin by it. G sharp. And the waves lapping the granite beach clean are whole rests.
This one is called 70 Chevelle. A dream I once held in the past passed away today with the final sell of my father's 70 Chevelle. See, the dusty shell was not just an old car, but a hope to rebuild and journey through memory. My parents went on their honeymoon to French Lick with bold black stripes across the stark red hood. I recently came across a photograph of these moments snapped 36 years ago as of last month in my search for my mother's youth as she slowly slips with the cancer in her head. February of '84 saw several feet of snow mixed with influenza that failed to ruin romance. Perhaps I've never seen the kind of money and cash it takes to purchase a dream like the hot rod I never got the chance to take a ride in on a warm sunny day. But there still is family and a little time for us to spend.
I feel like I've heard like two different like nostalgic love for muscle car stories in the past few weeks. So that was a good one. That was
What was the other muscle car? Because that was a Chevelle. Do you remember?
I think that someone who was then sparked to talk about their Nova, but I don't remember what the first one was because it was something I had never heard before.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
Yes. I looked them all up and I was like, man, you guys are so specific about which ones you love, but these all kind of look the same to me in a way.
Well, we came riding in on a Challenger, and I can't park for nothing.
Well, we're going to get back into the music, and, I'm inspired to play some of my meaner ones on here. So we're going to get into Rachel Byman with Hope It Hurts here on KOPN Columbia.
I'm feeling low as hell. Won't do no show and tell for you today. Just try and make me play. Ain't you dog and I won't sit, won't stay. 'Cause when you hope it hurts, when you hope it hurts, when you hope it hurts sometimes. When you hope it hurts, when you hope it hurts, when you hope it hurts sometimes.
Pick me up softly, I don't know the shape that I'm in. Drop through the windows, down through the buildings, and out to the front door again. There was a gun fighting out in the moonlight to settle the matters at hand. So pick me up, stranger, pick me up softly. You don't know the shape that I'm in. And I did my best with my time in the West, and I tried not to leave anyone in distress. And I have stood tall, yeah, and I've never lied, that's a lie. But I surely tried to do everything I could do right. Pick me up softly, I don't know how much I've been hurt. One bullet missed me, the other one kissed me and left me to die in the dirt. And killed every last man that shot down my Suzanne. It's over, whatever it's worth. So pick me up, stranger, pick me up softly. Don't know how much I've been hurt. And I did my best with my time in the West. And I tried not to leave anyone in distress. And I have stood tall, yes, and I've never lied, that's a lie. But I've surely tried to do everything I could do right. Pick me up softly, I don't know how long I have left. I'm not hurting, but death is as certain as a bullet that lays in my chest. I'm flooded with memories and people and sweet dreams and words to my favorite songs. While by the last round, if you lay my head down, sing one for me when I'm gone. We did our best with our time in the West, and we tried not to leave anyone in distress. And we have stood tall, yes, and we've never lied, that's a lie. We surely tried to do everything we could do right. blood racing from the grave. String band playing more of that honky tonk's pretty young thing going dancing in the rain. High heel lady spitting at the Nicky Jacks, businessman with a needle and a spoon, coyote chewing on a cigarette, pack of young boys going howling at the moon. Hey darling, sleeping on the blacktop. Hey darling, running through the trees, honey. Hey darling, leaving for the next town. Listen, my set sketches up with me. Three dead in a crash on the number 4. 2 witnesses blowing up high. Not sure whose will be done. You can call me a sinner for wondering why. Hey darling, sleeping on the blacktop. Hey darling, running through the trees, honey. Hey darling, leaving for the next town. Listen, my set sketches up with me. Liquor tastes sweeter in this town. Could it be it's the same as the last? I swear I've seen your face elsewhere before, just as familiar as a bottle and a glass. Hey darling, sleeping on the blacktop. Hey darling, running through the trees, honey. Hey darling, leaving for the next town. Listen, my set sketches up with me. Hey darling, sleeping on the blacktop. Hey darling, running through the trees, honey. Hey darling, leaving for the next town. Listen, my set sketches up with me. Listen, my sense catches up with me.
When I was young, so much younger than today, never needed anybody's help in any way.
Now those days are gone, and I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Oh, help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? Now my life has changed in oh so many ways. My independence seemed to vanish in the haze. never needed anybody's help in any way.
And now those days are gone. Now I'm not so self-assured. Now I find, changed my mind, I've opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Oh, help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? Won't you please, please help me? Won't you please, please help me? Help.
Come on and help me now, yes.
Help. Help.
Don't sing if you want to live long. They have no use for your song. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead and out of this world. You'll never get a second chance. Plan all your moves in advance. Stay dead, stay dead, stay dead, stay dead and out of this world. Run fast, don't stand in the sun. There's too much work to be done. You're down, you're down, you're down, you're down and out of this world. Don't ever talk with your eyes. Be sure that you compromise. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead and out of this world. Hear the unloved weeping like rain. Guard your sleep from the sound of their pain. Long gone, long gone, long gone, long gone and out of this world. When you smile and it tears your face, it's time for the inhuman race. You're down, you're down, you're down, you're down and out of this world. Now your hope and compassion is gone. You've sold out your dream to the world. Stay dead, stay dead, stay dead. You're dead and out of this world.
My door, you find me alone, with a hand on the whiskey and a hand on the phone. I think you don't care, but I love you for sure. My heart will not listen, but it wants to be heard. You just can't see what I've seen since I've known you. You won't allow yourself love in
a passenger riding beside you, asking a stranger to hand me a light. And if I wake up alone, I don't know where you're gone, and I'll drive to the city, find the ring that you pawned. I think you don't care, but I love you for sure. My heart will not listen, but it wants to be heard. You just can't see what I've seen since I've known you. You won't allow yourself love in your life. I'm just a passenger riding beside you, asking a stranger to hand me a light. You hold the reins, my heart is in chains. I will be free someday. I will be free. You just can't see what I've seen since I've known you. You won't allow yourself love in your life. I'm just a passenger riding beside you, asking a stranger to hand me a light. Asking a stranger to hand me a light.
Tell me, darling, who's gonna help you carry the load? I know you're leaving, you say it's best I be traveling on. Many times I acted foolish when I really was just afraid that all of my good times would up and walk away. I need your love, pretty darling. I've got to have all of your love. I need it so much, and it's strange how you got me feeling this way. I need your love, pretty baby. Yes, I've got to have all of your love. I need it so much, and it's strange how you got me feeling this way. I need your love. Ooh, child, I've been gambling, I've been rambling all around. I know trouble's coming, 'cause sorrow's all that I found. Many days I took for granted, how I wish I could turn back time. I can't ask to move the mountain, so just give me the strength to climb. I need your love, pretty darling. Said I've got to have all of your love. I need it so much, and it's strange how you got me feeling this way. I need your love, pretty baby. Said I got to have all of your love. I need it so much, I need your love. I need it so much, and it's strange how you got me feeling this way. I need your love.
Inside of me for, oh, I don't know how long. I don't know how, but I keep thinking that something's bound to go wrong. But he looks in my eyes and makes me realize when he says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby.
I guess I should have kept my mouth shut when I started to brag about my car. But I can't back down now, 'cause I pushed the other guys too far. She makes me come alive and makes me wanna drive when she says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby. She told me, baby, when you race the day, just take along my love with you. And if you knew how much I love you, baby, nothing could go wrong with you. Oh, what she does to me when she makes love to me, when she says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out all right. Don't worry, baby.
Right now, we'd like to bring back a young fella who has written some of the great big hit tunes across the country nowadays. Records for Decca Records. He's a real terrific singer himself. You heard him a while ago and you liked him so well, so let's bring him back with a great big hand, Roger Miller.
Thank you so much. Boy, they stayed away by the thousands tonight, I reckon. I guess everybody's got the flu. Anybody here got it? Anybody got the flu? We're going to bury this old boy tomorrow. Funeral will be at 2 o'clock. Here's a little song I wrote a while back and George Jones has been singing around. Maybe you've heard it. I once had a sweetheart, the fairest of maidens. She outshined all others that I'd known by far. I had a friend, a big fella, sailor. Harlan had a rubber tarred new shiny car. Oh, the ways of the world and the wants of a woman, if I figured them all out, would take many years. By the wants of a woman, she fell for Big Harlan. I tried, but in vain, for to take my own life. Suddenly I'd lost all my will to keep living. She'd lost her desire to become my own wife. Oh, the ways of the world and the wants of a woman, if I figured them all out, would take many years. Well, I wanted revenge and waylaid for Big Harlan. Then I started to wonder, what good would it do? If a rubber tarred new shiny car's her ambition, well, I'll just let her have it, and Big Harlan too. Oh, the ways of the world and the wants of a woman, if I figured them all out, would take many years. If I figured them all out, would take many years. We're a little pressed for time tonight, so we're doing that in a little fast. I breathe like a little boy. My breath comes in short pants. We'd like to say that we've really enjoyed being with you folks tonight, and we hope that maybe in the near future we'll get to come back. If you folks liked what we done. If you didn't, well, huh? All right, we got one more. I'm going to do a little talking now. Let me say a word here.
Oh, yeah, we're going to say goodbye to Roger Miller and his talking and remind you that you're listening to KOPN Columbia, your source for in-depth news, diverse talk, and music of the world. It's more than radio, it's community radio on the web at kopn.org. And if you've forgotten what community radio means, it is... thanks to you, the listener, that we exist. And we are funded by you. We are volunteers on the mic, on the board, in the studio, and you make it possible. So if you have a little something that you can contribute towards your community radio station, it's always appreciated, whether it's one time or whether it's monthly. But you can go do that over at kopn.org. You can also become an underwriter and support our shows that way, just like this next one. KOPN thanks our listener sponsors and the Amber House B&B for support of our programming. Amber House is a full-service getaway in historic Rocheport, Missouri, featuring multi-course meals from locally sourced foods and 4 individually designed suites. Therapeutic massage is also available. Owners Dawson and Sherry look forward to personalizing your stay. Pictures and more on the Amber House Facebook page or at amberhousebb.com. Here on Rootin' Tootin' Radio today, we have been doing a little bit of spoken word, some poetry from our special guests who have been exploring some Midwestern poetry venues out there, some bookstores, and they are here for another round of poems. This is Tim Heerdink.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on one second. Oh, thank you. Getting used to having people in the studio again, which is awesome. Those mics are on.
So we've had quite the weekend, including, you never know what you're going to find on Airbnb. We got to have a creepy doll stare us down as we shared a pink, amazing fluffy bed.
Very roughly, yeah. Surprisingly roughly.
Did you feel like a princess?
I did feel pretty. I felt like I was as close as Paris as I've been my whole life.
I felt like a creepy princess with the doll staring at me, but
kept us in line.
Yeah.
So breaking the mood here. I have found some maybe a little more humorous poems than The Dying Horse or just Sleepy Horse. This one is called. This is from my book. I'm diving in the books now. This one's called From the Human Remains. Confessions heard by eavesdropping, those walking, talking while eating tacos at Los Bravos. We've had some good food this weekend, so going to Los Bravos. On Thursday evenings weekly, one can find me eating at my favorite restaurant, Los Bravos, the place with the best tacos and all the cheese that my lactose-intolerant self does not need, but feeds on anyway. Indeed, the food may be cheap, but to me it is a luxury. There is no shame in my indulgence as I chow down with the stench of cleaning chemicals that fill the eating area about 9 at night. My delight will not hide until the sight of my wife, with her ears perked as though she needs to lie down against the earth, signals to me that she is not listening to my story, which involves the same old, describing the ever-repeating cycle of my routine. She whispers to me that she is overhearing the couple the next table over. My dear love does this quite often. I no longer take offense to it, as some people have more drama in their lives. It is nice to add a little spice, just like the meat that I continue to eat. A little bit of conflict is delicious. This particular night's undercover headlines have in store for something juicy. With each bite, we learn that a man has done the ultimate betrayal. His nuptials are in trouble as he explains to the infuriated female across from him about how he made a mistake when he slept with another lady. Infidelity has no excuse. It surprised me that his bride would remain by his side for this meeting. Then it occurred to me that a free meal at Los Bravos is worth sitting, hearing the begging and pleading from an unfaithful man while you are eating, even though you still plan on leaving. Nothing but the nachos, chips, and the tacos crisp could keep me from laughing at the fool. What a place to make such a confession. I am glad that I will never go through such embarrassment. For them, it may be the end of their marriage, but for us, it's just another day, and I feel great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Tony Brewer, and I'm going to read 4 haiku for you. I wanted to give a little setup. These are published. I got these published last month in Flying Island. Check them out on flyingislandjournal.org. They're a great Midwest journal out of Indianapolis in the Indiana Writers Center. And I called this group of poems Top Tier Haiku because, let's see, this was 2 months ago. I was invited to participate in an event called a Haiku Death Match run by a poet friend of mine named Adam Henze, who's a haiku master. And a haiku death match is like a poetry slam for haiku, where there's rounds, but instead of a 3-minute time limit or whatever, it's haiku. It's haiku against haiku. And we did the math, and if I made it through all of the rounds, and this is something that Adam advised everyone, like how many haiku should you prepare? You could come up with them on the spot, but how many if you wanted to prepare? So if you made it all the way to the end and you win, you would have to read 21 haiku. So I prepared 21 haiku. I believe that's the plural of haiku, is haiku. So I prepared 21 haiku, and I got knocked out in the first round. Oh. So I got to read 1. But these were my top tier. These were the ones, I put them into tiers, and I put them in the tiers, and this was the top tier. And I spelled it because I'm a poet. I spelled it T-E-A-R, so top tier haiku. And there's a little epigraph called After Etheridge Night. This is because the event was honoring the poet, Indianapolis poet Etheridge Night, who died in the early 90s. I believe he died in 91. He was a highly regarded prison poet. He kind of saved himself through poetry when he was in prison. And so the haiku were sort of inspired by urban life, cityscapes, and possibly prison life. So these are 4 haiku called Top Tier Haiku After Etheridge Night. Garbage truck backs up. Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. Early bird chirping. 2 used syringes, dandelions in mown grass, their seeds blown away. Parking lot puddle, mirror, mirror in asphalt, ocean of ego. His crooked smile on the same side of my face, photos of my dad.
I'd say parking lot mirror puddle. I feel like that one should have slain in a death match. The puddle of ego.
Thank you.
That's my top choice. That's the one I would have put money on.
I think garbage truck is the one that got knocked out. I think that might have been one.
So, well, before I guess I decide I will read this piece because it is 3 haiku together to go with yours. We have, I call ourselves the 4 Horsemen. Me, Tony Brewer, John Coker from Evansville, Indiana, and Joseph Fulkerson from Owensboro, Kentucky, which is right across the river from Evansville. Fulkerson has a wonderful collection of haiku called Thunderheads, so he's really kind of inspired me to write that Japanese form of the 575. Anyway, this one is called 3 Rings Before Silence, which is not as funny as the last one, but I do have another funny one that I'll end this 3-poem set with. So 3 Rings Before Silence. This bowl of thick smog covers and entraps us all without room to gasp. Nails across closed doors, scratching for an escape path, never to be found. Vocal cords are strained till silence takes residence and we're forgotten.
Nice. I think Adam Hensey would approve. So this is weird to look at this one because I kind of memorized this one. So maybe I shouldn't even look at it. It's called this is called Spark. The human body is capable of amazing feats when faced with unrelenting stress and anxiety. It can lift a car off a baby or put a bullet in the brain, should the situation arise, and even realize when a house grown up in is no longer a home, and toys once played with were never just toys, and it was never just playing. My wrist is a lever of love, ending in a fist of bone, and I hold on like grim death. My heart is a filter that intakes the sour atmosphere my lungs inhale, turns it into blood or bile or sinews wrapped around the red ribbon of my loose muscles to shield what's left of the egg I came from. I was there only once, and it was night, and I wasn't driving, so let's see if I can tell you how to get back. My mouth is a trap, my tongue the bait, and at the center of it all are atoms, screaming in orbits, praying to their sullen gods they never split apart. My legs are twin battering rams, sparking butterfly tsunamis with each hard soul stride, and the trees I hug are splinters in the skin of the earth, slowly sloughing off this little flake. But a gun is an extension of the fist. Just squeeze and a punch explodes. It's okay if it's only a target. The human soul contains a lifetime and just a moment more until the vessel drains and refills, drains and refills, drains and refills and spills over into other cups and pants and jar heads, and so lives on, ever pumping out the rhythm of a toy drum tattoo, never as regular as we'd hoped or as easy as a march, and never the home it seems until I'm nearly out the door. My face ends where air begins, and the tension at that last border is a breath and a snort and a kiss, and at its end, a tame body wrapped in accumulation like an egg within its shell. But the human existence is no trap, and not nearly as structured as a game, and so becomes a catalog of sleep, where the waking mind calls body into being with mechanics, while my weariness strikes hard and deep. And I do grow tired, my friends, my lovers, of these movements, of combinations of spiritual permutations and visions, of my sleeping mind still attached to a lizard brain at base of neck, who constantly calls the quarters as if a seance were in effect. And then the table rises and knocks, and I lose the ticking of all clocks, but I never can quite tell where all the noise is coming from.
Another excellent one. We're going to get one more from Tim Heerdink.
Thank you. Oh, I just want to say I could listen to Tony Brewer read poetry like all day, all night.
Well, thanks, Tim. It's going to be a fun 4.5 hours back to Evansville.
Yeah,
then.
recite all that. And he amazes me that he can memorize that stuff. It's awesome. So this one is called Before the Thaw, and it's just kind of a criticism on people who live in the middle of America, who aren't quite sure what happens when snow comes. And it's not even much snow, it's a light dusting. Southern Indiana drivers are like newborn fawns who've fallen from the warmth of their mother's wombs. A thin sheet of frosted particles keeps them swaying in a dance where the crash is inevitable. When winter shows its colder side, the world here stops in fear of the bite which the North knows all too well. In the fall, one reflects on all the deeds and who they become. Unfavorable traits are buried deep like broken limbs in the snow. Resolutions last but a day, for tomorrow the sun will shine.
Excellent. It's a summer month, but we need excuses to play winter songs. This is another one from the Amanda Ann Platt and the Honeycutters' latest release, Another Winter Gone, here on KOPN Columbia. Stay tuned. Keep listening to Rootin' Tootin' Radio till 3 p.m.
Another winter gone, and dandelions on the neighbor's lawn. The world so heavy with becoming. Somehow I breathe you in, and I'm a kid again, tasting summer. And did you make 'em laugh? Did they mistake you for a photograph? They'd never know you in the flesh. And did you drink alone? Did it feel like home? Did you try your best? Where did you go, Marie? And can you tell us what you've seen? Did your traveling shoes lead you down the same old street? And if I kissed your face, would you turn away? Would you say how strange to find ourselves back here in this place? These days are different, though they may look the same to you. You don't know nothing about nothing when you're 22. We can't close our eyes, we can't start over new. We can't give ourselves to dreams the way young dreamers do. It's painful slow, the way a house becomes a home. So much loving, so much losing, so much hoping. And the world will shake, but if your heart still breaks, you are not broken. Where did you go, Marie? And can you tell us what you've seen? let the mystery be. Some say once gone, you're gone forever, and some say you're gonna come back. Some say you rest in the arms of the Savior if in sinful ways you lack. Some say that they're coming back in a garden, bunch of carrots and little sweet peas. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worried about where they're gonna go and the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say they're going to a place called glory, and I ain't saying it ain't a fact. But I've heard that I'm on the road to purgatory, and I don't like the sound of that. Well, I believe in love and to live my life accordingly. But I choose to let the mystery be. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worried about where they're gonna go and the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. I think I'll just let the mystery be.
You always knew I understood. You knew I'd say what I said. Had I known it would go the way it would, I would have said this instead. Sail on, my friend. Sail on into a new horizon. If you can't play that same old song again, I say, sail on. Let's just say you broke a string and raise a toast to your health. Sing for anyone else but yourself. Sail on, my friend. Sail on into a new horizon. If you can't play that same old song again, I say, sail on. Save a place for me.
life is over. Baby, don't you grieve. Just take me by the riverside. Let the mermaids flirt with me. Let the mermaids flirt with me. 'Neath the dark and rolling sea, we'll lay all day beneath the shade of an old seaweed tree. And I won't be alone in my home, sweet watery home. I'll be fancy free under the sea. Let the mermaids flirt with me. Let the mermaids flirt with me. 'Neath the dark and rolling sea, we'll lay all day beneath the shade of an old seaweed tree. And I won't be alone in my home, sweet watery home. I'll be fancy free under the sea. Let the mermaids flirt with me.
And that was Logan Ledger. That's a relatively new artist from Rounder Records. His song, Let the Mermaids Flirt With Me. Maybe you have found your opportunity to squatch it down in the beautiful southern Missouri springs, creeks, or even our own creeks and rivers and water bodies of water around here. But I hope you're staying cool in this hot weather. Thanks for tuning in to KOPN Columbia during this Sunday afternoon. And for joining us for these poetry breaks here on Rootin' Tootin' Radio. Spoken word, storytelling, poetry, all of those things belong on community radio. And if you are in this community and would love to see more spoken word on KOPN, I guarantee you can convince these folks on the programming committee that your work has a place on this air waves. So, we need some spoken word and poetry shows here on KOPN. Get over to kopn.org and sign up on that volunteer page if you want to start curating some poetry performances. Okay, we're back with Tony Brewer and Tim Heerdink, and let's go. Oh, now let's go.
Got to get me back. There we go. This is going to be from my book, Hot Type Cold Read. This is, in other news, a peace has broken off. I mishear on the radio toaster instead of ouster, and dream a tinker governing the land just as my book is putting me to sleep. In overalls, he fixes something once he's taken it apart and laid it out, a constellation on a blanket in the bed of a crew cab truck. Springs and cogs and wing nuts speak to him, purposeless unless part of a great exploded schematic. No one wants to be a part left over, singular, non-moving parts that do not fit or are missing now the toaster is toasting again. My old gray tome of Eskimo poems is a manual for how to catch fish, but one has to live like them to understand the many steps. I still want to know why everything finally fits inside a shell too tight for God. Only things that work go in there. A smaller screwdriver is required, but experience with tabs and slots is what repairs all appliances. I think the newsman meant alliances and stabs and plots and despair. The book falls off me to the floor. I lose my place.
My next two selections, I'll start off with one though. It's from this is the latest book, though it is out of stock until October, called A Cacophony of Birds in the House of Dread from Between Shadows Press, which is an amazing small chapbook press in New Jersey from Tom Bacalus. Anyway, I am an avid bird lover. I love to watch birds and feed them and everything. The cardinal is my favorite. Well, I have a tattoo of the cardinal with my mother on my arm. But I also drew an awful lot of inspiration for my love for birds from Wingspan. I love playing hobby board games, and Wingspan from Stonemaier Games is just an incredible, easy to get into game for anybody who is interested in board games or birds. And Stonemaier Games is in St. Louis, so it's just kind of awesome this weekend to kind of be around those things. Nice. But anyway, this first one has to deal with the last Kauai this mating call before he went extinct back in the late 80s. Mating call for the lone Kauai Onopeik call for your love in this luscious forest abundant with plenty of ohialuhea, for your curved bills to fill with the sweet, sweet nectar. I'll share all my honey if you'll just please give me a chorus in response to this solo verse. It's been quite some time since that tune reverberated within these majestic woods. This island feels so vast and completely empty as these yellow eyes search their growing weary. Ooh, 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 ooh. The distance between us is becoming too much, and I fear these golden legs will soon give up after this last attempt to avoid extinction.
Ooh. Been feeling climate change with some of those reportings this week, and searching that plane for something to eat really drives it home.
This is called Hubble. Hubble. We tore each other up. First grade, second grade, third grade, fourth. Mike Hubble, the fire plug, and me, the lanky conflagration he could never put out. Hate in our brainstems. Not nearly enough space in the rainy day recess one-horse town gymnasium. Fists, fingernails, keds, teeth. I punched him with a black walnut in my hand. He whipped my nape with a notebook spiral. 4 years, 5 years of trips to Principal Beja, who died, and then Mr. Kaufman, who retired. Fought so hard, teachers gave up. Fought so long, we forgot the reasons between us, relying on instinct and inertia. Once we were sentenced to stand outside the gym doors all during recess, staring each other down, nose to nose. No talking, no laughing, no smiling, no touching. Sweat beads on my temples, anger tears in his dark eyes, carefully ridiculed by passing classmates. Footsteps and giggles in our periphery. My first lesson in impotent rage. My first lesson in impotent rage, object of derision unobtainable, yet as close as breath. He taunted with a fake kiss. I winked. Stifled smiles twist our mouths to pouts. What keeps us from swinging is fear of punishment. Yet, after so many years detained, the attention felt like a reward. Fists wrangled, taunts secretive. Our sanctioned war crimes, all talk and rumor for now, waiting for time to elapse. Grown adults call this diplomacy.
So yeah, this collection, this is a short chapbook, of course, but it has a variety of birds within its walls, including the very well, it's the second to last poem that I'm not reading right now, but it's The House of Dread. So all these condemned houses and everything that you see, it kind of drew inspiration from that. But I do have like a philosophy on like reincarnation through birds or messengers from a different life, including the cardinals. The sad thing with Indiana right now is there's a virus going on along the songbirds. So when they gather around bird feeders, they get each other sick and they die. So I know I'm bringing people down again, but it's just kind of something to keep in mind in various states, because I know it's like in Indiana, but I don't know if it's traveling around. I had just put a bird feeder out, and they're like, "Oh, you need to take that down." Mm. So this poem is called "When the Cardinal Comes to Visit." It is said that when a loved one crosses planes of consciousness and enters their new form, they occasionally come back as a bird. Cardinals are the commonly chosen hosts, for the red feathers are stark in the gray skies which cover the lives of those in mourning. Like a little girl tossed around among the crowd, the cardinal fights its way through for a glimpse and to deliver a message from beyond the treetops. I hang special seed to attract only these kinds, so I can feel my deceased one's presence nearby when doing my best seems hard. Several states share the cardinal as their official bird, to be treasured by all who watch with scopes. We remain in eternal mourning in the Midwest.
This is Pity for Sale. After Ferlinghetti, after Gibran. Pity the bee who has no country. Sorry about that. This is Pity for Sale. After Ferlinghetti, after Gibran. Pity the bee who has no country, its fuzzy, swollen appetite and hardwired love of candy. Pity the window, gladly accepting so many waves of heat and hand, fogged with condensation of desire. Pity the vegetable in its untouchable packet, disguised as itty-bitty seeds that are mere possibilities. Pity the failed backup and make it new. Pity the ambulance so lonely it stalks my next-door neighbor twice this year alone. Alone. Pity the billionaire in love with zeros. No, screw those clowns, right in the zero. Pity the worker who identifies with a king. Pity the tree dragged down by sweet honeysuckle, the red buds pinking the woods, telling us it is time. Time. Pity the time it takes to feel, the time it takes to unfeel, to unlearn, to unlove, to unseal. Pity our ranks and forms, a slot for everyone, when we all would be better off marked other. My country, 'tis not insane, but copes horrendously. Sweet land, sweet liberty, ask any busy bee.
Oh yeah. I had to turn my mic down so that I could find out about this songbird virus, but it is throughout the country.
Is it throughout the country? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just local.
They said Washington, D.C., Kentucky, Virginia, Pennsylvania, that their eyes crust up or something.
They're telling people to dump their feeders, to empty their feeders and not refill them. So
they need to be wearing masks and social distancing.
That's right.
Well, that's why they are trying to get rid of the feeders.
Keep them distant.
But they do, it said robins, blue jays, grackles, and starlings is some of the ones they name in here, but they've tested for a whole bunch of other viruses and they can't find out what the cause is. But yeah.
Something to keep an eye on for sure.
Oh yeah. We're going off the playlist for something that felt sparked by that. So we're going for it. Thank you for listening to Rootin' Tootin' Radio here on KOPN Columbia. We may squeeze in one more poetry break, but for now we'll go back to the music. I know I play this one a lot, but it's because I really love it. This is Worthless from Anna Tivell.
Nothing else in my pocket. I'm a wild horse pawing at the cracked dead earth. Stoplight turning and a long white Lincoln goes screaming by. The baseline lingers. It's hot as the devil. The rubber and the metal black smell of something burning. I never did wrong. I never did gamble till the day you called me worthless. In my pocket, I'm a fused box sparking in the summer grass. I'm a hooded figure, a crazy killer. I'm a dead man walking on the overpass. It's hot as the devil, the asphalt melting, the sweat, wet smell of danger. I never did wrong, I never was tempted till the day you named my anger. Countdown rocket in a cloud of smoke. My fists are clenched, my whole body tense. My mouth screwed up, my eyes half closed. It's hot as the devil, the screaming kettle, the baseline slowly burning. I never did wrong, I was kind and careful till the day you called me worthless.
Oh, sorry.
clouds in the valley, one bird flies alone. Church bells pierce the night, many miles from home. I'm on the road, babe, and I'm dreaming of you. One more mountain pass, one more town to pass through. Thoughts of you are running around in my head. You're just waking up, I'm just going to bed. It's your voice on the phone that I love to hear, but I wish it was more. Yeah, you're always on my mind, always on my mind. You're always on my mind, always on my mind. Yeah, you're always on my mind, always on my mind.
Jamaica was a lovely one, I played her well. As we lay in the tall grass where the shadows fell, hiding from the children so they would not tell. We would stay there till the sister rang the evening bell. Jamaica, say you will help me find a way to fill these empty hours. Say you will come again tomorrow.
The daughter drifting on the rolling seas. She would stare across the water from the trees. Last time he was home, he held her on his knees. Said the next time they would sail away is where they'd please.
Jamaica, say you will
help me find
a way to fill these lifeless sails and stay until my ships can find the sea. A comfort and a mercy through and through. Hiding from the world together, next thing I knew, we had brought her things down to the bay. What could I do to make her say you will help me find a way to fill sail, and we will sail until our waters have run dry.
Ooh, Jamaica, Say You Will from Los Lobos on Rootin' Tootin' Radio here on KOPN Columbia. We've got a little bit more poetry. We're almost to the end of the show, but we're going to jump right into it so we get it to you and maybe squeeze out one last song.
All right. I know I say all right a bunch, but it is all right. This is a poem that will be in one of my upcoming manuscripts, but a quick little tidbit. So I had a call from a Holocaust survivor. I write Holocaust books. I have 2 of them now. And while my mom was dying last year, I mean, I was taking care of her and everything. I received a call from Stephen Nasser, and he is still going strong in the West, and he just had some uplifting words to say. So I'll end on an uplifting note. This is called The Best I Could. There comes a time in every man's life where the boulder begins to roll backward and puts pressure on exhausted limbs. This year, this month, and this day proved to be the change in direction my burden I carry has made along a rocky course. Just yesterday, before leaving my daughter crying with abdominal pains to care for my dying mother, I received a call. Stephen Nasser, a Holocaust survivor and author of 2 amazing biographies, answered my message about a project. He asked me how I keep myself busy during these moments of isolation caused by the worldwide pandemic. I replied with my daily challenge of writing more poetry alongside being a caregiver for an ill parent. To hear an apology and empathy from a man who lost his family at such a young age felt comforting. After came advice we all can adhere. We wake up every day and do the best we can do, because that's all we can do.
Yeah, best we can do.
So this is a poem that I wrote 17 years ago for the 17 Cicadas last time they came through, and I hope to continue doing it for another 17 years. This is Cicada Blues, Chorus 10 and 17. Ooh, love to love you, baby. Ooh, love to love you, baby. Ooh, love to love you, baby. I will come back for you, baby. Maybe 17 years from tonight, but I will come for you. Up from the ground through a hole this big, and I'll crawl. I'll crawl across the lawn, baby. Drag my freshly hatched ass over sidewalks and quiet city streets, just to get you to come to me. I'll climb the most convenient tree I find and shed this hard, crusty exterior and back out of my pupal state. And when I'm dry and strong enough and I unfurl my clear wings, I will call to you, call to you, call to you, call to you, and I hope you'll hear me. Among the million brothers in this humble acre alone, vying for your attention, and that you'll come to me. Come to me now, baby. Please don't make my soul wait in the cold ground another 17 long years. Come land on my beech branch, and we'll make sweet butt-to-butt love, and place our progeny within the spent sapling-soiled pulp, under a heavy haze of June, on a long-lost Indiana afternoon, and then together we'll die. Ooh, love to love you, baby. Ooh, love to love you, baby. Thank you.
Whoa.
Thanks, Jackie, and thanks to KOPN for having us here. Myself and Tim Heerdink. We've been doing a little tour of Missouri this weekend, and we're glad that we could make it to Columbia.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. You have been listening to Rootin' Tootin' Radio here on KOPN. I'm going to give you one more song before Strike the Gay Harp comes up on the airwaves. You can share this show with your friends, family, colleagues if you enjoyed some of or all of what you heard. We are on the Spinatron archive. You can find links to that on kopn.org. Thank you very much and enjoy your afternoon. This is the latest from James McMurtry, If It Don't Bleed.
Looking back down the road from a little ways out, I never had a fear and I never had a doubt. If I'd had a lick of sense, I'd have figured that out pretty fast. But I wasn't any smarter than the average kid. Somebody might have noticed, but I never did. I never saw the future fading right into the past. Talking to the wallpaper, wandering the halls. I burned a lot of bridges and I dropped a lot of balls. It's a wonder I can never go back to any place I've been. But I wouldn't get down on my knees on a bed. I'm near enough to Jesus as I ever want to get. Seeking salvation isn't part of my general plan. Save your prayers for yourself. Raise my glass to your health. I don't mind if you don't look like me. I can share my bread and wine. I come from another time, and it don't matter all that much if it don't bleed. If it don't bleed. Now it's all I can do just to get out of bed. There's more in the mirror than there is up ahead. A smile and a nod like I heard what you said every time. So run another rack, pour another shot. You don't get it back, so give it all you got, while you still got a more or less functional body and mind. Save your prayers for yourself. Raise my glass to your health. I don't mind if you don't look like me. I can share my bread and wine. I come from another time, and it don't matter all that much if it don't bleed. If it don't bleed.
No, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either.
On KOPN, Columbia.
This program is brought to you by listener support and a donation from Quantum Wireless Internet Services. Serving mid-Missouri since 2012, Quantum Wireless Internet provides internet, television, and phone services to residential and business customers. More information is available at quantumwirelessinternet.com or by calling 573-256-1166. Quantum Wireless Internet, a connection to the digital world.
Welcome to Strike the Gay Harp, traditional music from Ireland, Scotland, England, and the other Celtic lands here on KOPN Columbia every Sunday afternoon from 3 to 5. Stay tuned for songs, stories, and dance tunes from the living tradition on Strike the Gay Harp.